Hello and welcome to episode 37 of the Sunday League Pundits Show. You've got myself, Stretch, my very good friend Tin Ribs.
Hello.
And my very good friend JimJam. How are we, boys?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, they look depressed, but they say they're okay, so we'll just believe them. Do we have a JimJam of the Statman stat?
Yeah, so we'll go into two things. So one of the ones that interest me when I was out at France through to semi-final, and the first team to do so without scoring a goal in open play if you take away the penalties and the own goal.
That's crazy, that, isn't it?
Yeah. They also haven't conceded in open play, I believe, as well.
That's pretty impressive and all, to be fair.
Because we were going around about Saliba, how he hasn't conceded in open play. But the other one I wanted to go into, that a couple weeks ago I said Ronaldo will be at the next Euros. Now, after his performance in this Euros, I'm saying no.
Right, that's definitely something I want to get into in a little bit. Because I want to club it in with something else that I wanted to talk about.
Because it was like 350 minutes while Ronaldo's been on the pitch. Portugal have not scored a goal.
No, but he did set Fernandes up, didn't he?
No. In the last 350 plus minutes, Portugal have not scored a goal.
I do think that they should...
This is going to their 3-0 result.
What's...
bearing in mind that they...
What's that guy? The sub that Portugal have got? Striker, is it? Conceição,
yeah.
His name. Is that their striker? They've got a sub-striker. Honestly, he's really good. But he's sitting out just because Ronaldo's a name.
Yeah.
Which I think is a bit harsh, really, because when he's come on, he's done really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that seems like a really good place to play the music. Hello and welcome to episode 37.
I'm going to start us off because there was a transfer that's happened this week, and being in the middle, it was really funny start to the day because the WhatsApp started is Archie Gray is dead to me that came from Stretch himself because he has gone to Spurs. And to top it off, he is now wearing the number 14 shirt. Now, that would be your shirt number as well. Double to piss off. So as it goes...
Doesn't mean anything at Tottenham, though.
I don't believe Tin Ribs were very happy after thinking... He might stay after not going Brentford, and then...
Yeah, he thought he survived,
24 hours later, it's all gone on.
However, I want to counter that. When he was going to Brentford, he was just going to Brentford. Now, we got Rodon and 30 million. I know it was a double exchange, but obviously 40 million looks better on our books. And then we got Rodon. They were asking for like 12, 15 million, but because he was a sweetener, we got him for 10. So we got a player we wanted for cheaper than what we should have had. Yes, we've lost Archie Gray and it's a massive blow, but financially and business-wise, that's a really good deal for us.
I think it is a better deal for you. I think you may have made a couple million more selling to somebody else, but then you may not have got Rodon.
Absolutely, and this is where, for me, I think you've got to sort of bite the bullet a little bit and just say, you know what, yes, we've lost Archie Gray, but he wanted to go. He'd made that decision, and then we got a player who was desperate to play for us. Is it that bad?
I think you should be deducted points for doing business with Tottenham, with Archie Gray, and I think at least 15 points you should have taken off you this season. Absolute disgrace. Yeah. And you should all be ashamed of yourselves.
But I would also like to say the beauty of it is now all those teams that thought they were going to be fucking clever and try and leave it to the last minute to get a non to offer us on the cheap, Somerville on the cheap, they're fucked now because we're fine. We don't have to sell it cheap anymore. We can literally sit there and go, you either pay us a lot of money or you fuck off.
Yeah, pretty much. It
So-
does give you a bit more scope now to,
Oh, it's given
to do
loads,
whatever
yeah.
you want. But I'm annoyed that I called it last week. I said Tottenham are in for Archie Gray, and literally a couple of days later he signs and
Yeah.
dead to
But
me.
you wanted it. It's because you really wanted him.
I really wanted him, but I know Arteta probably wouldn't have bought him because he's good, he's young, and he's English.
Yeah.
If he was shy, old as fuck, and Spanish, he'd be in the starting team.
So, I mean, I wrote down loads of transfers that have been happening this week, and I mean, clubs are overpaying for players because of this financial fair play, and they're swapping amongst each other. It's happening even more. It's like the players just aren't worth 35 million. I mean, you look at Archie Gray, is he worth 35 million?
Yes.
Yeah, he probably is, probably worth that. But is Elliot Anderson going to Notts Forest from Newcastle worth 35 million?
I wouldn't even put them two in the same league. I think Anderson's a decent player. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he's bad. I think Anderson's a decent player. But, I mean, how many minutes has he had? He's not exactly a first teamer there, is he?
No, and it seems like he's a bit upset that he's gone as well. It seems like he's a local lad.
He's a Newcastle boy, isn't he?
Yeah, and it seems like he's one of them that have been sold to balance the book, which it looks like a lot of players are in that category now.
Oh, bless me. Sorry.
So
Apologies.
what players are worth now is just completely gone out the window.
I mean, when you're talking players that, like, if you can call yourself a footballer, you're worth 25 million. That's regardless of whether you've played a minute, how old you are. If you can literally say, I'm a professional footballer, you're instantly worth 25 million. Like, I remember the days of sat there going, they've just paid 15 million for Shearer. Like, what an amazing amount of money that is. Whereas now, you can, as long as you can tie your laces, you're worth 25 million. I can't understand that amount of money. It's ridiculous. And I'm sorry, but Elliot Anderson for me,
Not 35
you're talking
million.
12.5 million.
Especially when you're talking, so another transfer, Dewsbury Hall's gone to Chelsea for 30 million. How is he going to get in the Chelsea side? They've got...
I think
Cole
Dewsbury
Palmer.
Hall's a great player,
Is he going to get in a...
but he's gone to a team where they're overflowing with great players in his
In
position.
midfield.
So he's going to really struggle to get any game time.
Enzo,
Personally,
Palmer, Caicedo, Romeo Lavia when he comes fit
I mean,
again.
let's
It's
be honest,
like...
he's not getting in ahead of Palmer.
No.
Not a chance. So he's there for when Palmer's injured. Lavia, for me, is a great player when he's fit.
Conor Gallagher's still there.
Caicedo has been okay this season. I wouldn't say he's been great.
No.
Gallagher, again, great player. But they were on about selling Gallagher to balance the books, and now they've just gone and bought... I mean, he's just going to be another Danny Drinkwater, isn't
Yeah,
he?
but he needs to set... Gallagher, I think, has come through Chelsea's academy maybe, or
Yeah,
they
he did,
bought
yeah,
him
yeah.
cheaper.
No, I
And
think he's
so
an
he's
academy
gone...
lad, isn't he?
So that's basically instant profit, as they call it, isn't
But
it?
it's not, though, is it? Because they've already wasted it on Leicester's... Well, I've literally
but
just forgotten his name. We've just been talking
Yeah,
about
but that cost is now spread out over X number of years, isn't it?
No,
The
and I
length
get
of the
that.
contract. So, but that's why they like to sell the academy players for more money, because that goes straight into the profit. Because in the profit and sustainability, their value is naught because they haven't bought it. So when Dewsbury Hall's worth 30 million, he's worth 30 million in assets at the moment, but for the length of his contract, his value comes down on the books to make a loss, which is why they can't sell Lukaku, because he bought him for stupid money, and if they sell him, it records as a loss, which is why he's just going out on loan.
Yeah, that's just insanity, that is.
So
Just absolute insanity. What was it, like 95 million or something they paid for Lukaku?
yeah, I mean, Leicester bought a player that I was hoping we were going to go with, which was Bobby Reed. Thought he would have been
talked about
all
Bobby Reed
right.
last week. Actually, he's a great player as well.
Yeah, so I was a bit disappointed. But what I do like about Southampton this year, we've actually bought some players and we're doing it early. We've never been known to like go out and buy a load of players dead early. So obviously Taylor Harwood-Bellis that we already knew about. We've gone out and bought Charlie Taylor. Well, on a free
I
transfer.
don't know a huge amount about him, I'll be honest.
He's played a lot of games at left back for Burnley, and they're gutted to see him go.
Good
He
player.
was one
I
of the
didn't
shining
watch a lot
player.
of Burnley games, though. That's all.
He's obviously come through Leeds, so he
I
was
think you
good.
know him anyway.
Let's put it this way: I'd definitely have had him back. If we could have beat Southampton to contract, I'd have killed to have him back.
Yeah. Nathan Wood has finally been bought. Martin wanted him last year. Don't know if he's Premier League quality yet. Only time will tell. He's obviously a Russell Martin guy, so that's what you want, because he's
Of course it is,
extended
yeah.
his contract
I
as
mean,
well.
It's more important when your manager really wants a player as well,
Yeah.
because you know that he is going to be integrated properly into the team, and he's going to get minutes, and he's going to be part of it, and it's not just money wasted,
No.
which is what a lot of clubs are doing, in my opinion, at the minute. More so Chelsea than anybody else.
So McCarthy signed a 2-year deal, which he deserves. I still think we need another goalkeeper, but without him, I don't think we'd have got promoted. So we'll say that about Alex McCarthy. So he deserves
The games
his new
I
contract.
watched of Saints last season, I thought he was good.
Yeah, he was
I do
decent in the
think he
back
was
end.
good, yeah.
He does worry me a bit. So we bought a guy called Ronnie Edwards from Peterborough. Apparently he's got a good prospect. They're touting him for being
gotta be honest,
future
I've
England defender. I don't know anything about
I
him.
never even heard the name.
No.
I'll be honest. I don't mean any disrespect like that.
So
I
it
just,
seems
haven't heard about him.
like a good deal. Yeah, so I think that's all our ones, which is quite good, and we're on about going for more, so we are strengthening, and it seems like a lot of defenders, which is quite good considering we let a lot go.
The issue I've got with making notes about Arsenal's transfers and potential transfers is we're linked to everybody on the planet.
Yeah.
So I would sit here and spend the entire hour and a half or whatever I could sit here and literally list off. I mean, just strikers alone were linked to like 5.
Yeah. That's why I'm only
not
saying the
Sesko
ones
anymore,
that we're
Sesko's gone, so
actually bought.
my issue is I'm going to have to wait until stuff is set in stone, because we are linked to everybody on the planet.
Yeah.
There's like defender after defender now that we're being linked with on X and on Facebook and this, that and the other, and like every Arsenal site you go on, we're linked with a new player. So I've stopped making notes, to be honest. I'm just going to wait till it's all done and dusted, and the only one that's done and dusted is depressing, because we've now signed Raya and made it official, which we knew they were going to do. They had to wait till the end of his loan spell, which finished on the 1st of July.
Still took a while to announce it, didn't it, officially?
Officially, yeah. They did announce it like on the 3rd,
Yeah.
and then it got taken down pretty damn quick, but everyone had already seen it by then. So but then we knew it was going to happen anyway, so it's not like it was a big secret. Well, Arteta's definitely going to sign his mate, even though he's a liability and threw like 9 goals in last season.
So have you seen the interesting one with the Max Kilman transfer?
I haven't seen anything about Max Kilman.
So Max Kilman's been signed for 40 million to West Ham.
That's a lot of money.
Wolves. So Wolves bought him in 2018 for 40k from Maidenhead. They
That's a lot of
added a
profit.
percentage clause, sell-on clause, Maidenhead, which I believe has been dealed out at 10%. So 4 million is going to Maidenhead, and that's
a good bit of business,
massive.
though, isn't it?
That's
That'll
massive for
save them for
non-league.
years.
Yeah. But apparently, in the news reports, apparently it was 20 million, 20%. Sorry.
I wouldn't let him go away with it. I'd just go, no, it's in the contract, 20%. I want 20%.
Apparently, to get the deal through, they've dropped it. Whether or not that's true or not, it's all media
That's scum, that,
speculation,
isn't
isn't it?
It's just big boys pushing around the little guys again.
Yeah.
I don't like that. You've got a contract, stick to your contract.
But still, 4 million for Maidenhead.
I mean, 4
that's
million's
cracking.
great. It's going to keep them going for years. It really will.
I mean, obviously,
But-
good business for Wolves as well, buying a player for 40k and getting
Selling him for
36
40.
million for him, because they
It's
give him 4 million to Maidenhead.
That's not bad,
That's
is it?
brilliant stuff, isn't it?
Shame on you, Wolves. Bullying the little guy.
The bastards.
Oh, I don't like that, though.
No, it's not.
You've made a deal. Stick with it.
Any other transfer activity that you want to talk about?
I mean, like I say, we're linked to everybody on the planet, so it's really hard. Are we going to buy Gorkarez or whatever his name is, or are we going for Watkins or Isaac, or there's now other strikers that we're mentioned with. There's defenders left, right, and centre that are coming from all over the globe that we're meant to be signing. the only defender I'd be happy as pulling in right now would be Gahey. He's the only one that I'd be happy that we're actually signing. And the only striker, or to be fair, there's two. One of the only strikers I'd be happy with is Watkins or Isaac. Anybody else kind of interesting? We're linked to this winger. We're linked to that winger. We're linked to this winger.
Yeah,
What?
we've had
4?
we've been
What
getting
Don't need them.
Leeds is a bit of a weird one. We had the initial link of like who we're linked with. That's all just gone silent. We've been offloading a load of our
Yes, I
Deadwood
know.
players.
Fucking Archie Gray.
So we've offloaded all the Deadwood pretty much that sort of jumped ship last season. We're still looking at offloading more of them. We're close to selling Classerson, our third choice goalkeeper. And the funny thing is, he's the only keeper to have played more than 3 games, won every game, and not conceded.
And you scored 9 goals in the process.
Yeah.
I saw that stat.
That's
Unreal.
not a bad record, though.
No,
to be fair.
he's really good, but
Can we have him? I'll swap you for
you'd
Ryan.
have to beat whichever, is it Swedish team or something? There literally no one that he's going to, but he's going. Looks like Cresswell's gone. That his
I saw that the other day.
Yeah, his deal collapsed, but now it seems to be back on. Llorente's now gone. Shackleton went straight to Sheffield United, and their post was, now the rebuild begins. And it's like, was I ever worried that Sheffield United would be a rival? Not really. But if they're building a revival with a player who's played for us for 17 years and never been good enough for our first team, don't get me wrong, I like Shackleton. He puts in the effort. He's a great worker. He's not as good as anyone else that we had. And that's Sheffield United's rebuild.
Yeah, but
That's
I mean, with at the risk of being disrespectful,
Yeah.
which I don't mean to be, Sheffield United are not exactly rebuilding from a place of strength.
No.
I'm
We're
not. I don't want to describe it the way I normally would. Like with us three. being
Hold on. They strengthened their team at the end of the season with Mason Holgate, who was crap for us and couldn't get in the Championship team, and he goes to a team struggling in the Premier League, in which Everton wanted getting rid, and he's not in their team.
And they literally were getting hammered every week as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not exactly going from a place of strength.
No.
I mean, they literally got annihilated last season, didn't they, Sheffield United? And I sort of felt sorry for them, really.
No, you didn't.
I did a little bit, because nobody wants to see a team go up and just get absolutely obliterated every week.
How many did you score against them?
Yeah, well, the odd game, them losing by loads, is great. But when you're watching it week in, week out, you do start to feel bad for them after a little while, because nobody wants to see that.
I don't really have any hate to Sheffield United, but they're not a team that I think, I quite like them as a team. You know how we felt about Luton, you know.
Yeah, but Luton were the massive underdogs, though, weren't they? Sheffield United had been in the Premier League before, though. Like, weren't they a founder member with, was it Brian?
I think.
Because he scored the first goal.
Brian Dean.
Brian Dean.
Yeah.
Didn't he score the first ever Premier League goal?
Yeah, something like
for
that.
Sheffield United.
I think so, yeah.
So they're part of the founder members of the Premier League. So they've been, Luton are not.
Yeah.
They haven't been up there for years. So when Luton go up, you're like, come on, Luton. So when Blackpool first went up, everyone was like, oh, I don't mind Blackpool.
On the upside,
Until they play you and they score and you're like, get the fuck out, what are you doing?
On the upside, we get the Sheffield Derby this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be interesting. We've also got the South Coast Derby, haven't we? But
Yeah.
that's probably going to be a little bit more boring.
What South Coast Derby?
You're going to play them in the FA Cup. I can
Oh.
feel it.
I'd love that.
I can feel it. You're going to play it in the
Feel
FA
that.
Cup.
I know.
Third round.
I know Pompey
FA
were
Cup.
really looking forward to their day out.
Yeah, they were. They were. To
were.
be fair. They were.
Yeah.
So
You better beat them first game of the season.
So Shackleton's moved to the second biggest
they've
team.
got 'em.
Yeah.
Leeds Portsmouth first game.
Yep.
Oh,
No.
we'll have to sit and watch that.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
We'll have to sit and watch that.
So I'm
Go on, Paul.
quite happy with Shackleton going to the second biggest team in Sheffield. Then you've got.
Wow.
It looks like Aronson's now going, and Wober's probably going. But the weird thing is, we're all hearing about who's going. There's nothing said about who's coming in. But this was the same last season. It seems like the 49ers keep their cards close to their chest. And then
But isn't that what you want from your owners, though?
Yeah,
you don't want them going out.
I think it is a
flying
nice when a player comes in by surprise, or you want to hear about it.
No one knew about
last
Gruev
minute.
until it was done.
Yeah.
No one knew about Gruev until it was like, here's Gruev.
I'd rather that for Arsenal. But I mean, the problem is we're linked to that many people. There's a good chance they are looking at least one of them.
Yeah.
So I'd rather...
That's a bit like the Man United thing, though, isn't it? Man United are linked to every player every year.
Yeah, but I think... I think even this image of Man United now is dwindling. Because they're not... Like, Real Madrid are still winning. Real Madrid is still kicking ass in the Champions League. So they may be financially similar to the Titanic, but they're still winning stuff. They're still doing well. They still got, Bellingham's voted best player in Spain and stuff like that. At United, you look at them, you think they signed Onana. And Casemiro's like, honestly, it's like a dog that you want to put down.
You can't really argue with it, Casemiro, because the first season he come, he was in the team of the season, so
yeah,
it
and everyone's
wasn't
going,
a bad
why are they
signing.
signing a guy that's that old? And he was actually really good in his first season. It's now that he's struggling a lot.
But as we're on Man United, Ten Hag signed an extended deal. So I wrote that down. And absolutely he deserves it because he's won 2 trophies in 2 years.
I've said this. I think Ten Hag is more successful than Arteta.
Yeah, and he needs the backing.
Arteta's been really successful. No, he won the FA Cup with a team that wasn't his because it was Emery's, and Emery had got to that point. Then we got to the final on penalties. We struggled our way to that final. And if I remember rightly, I think we actually won the final on penalties as well. So it's not like we went in and obliterated anybody.
No.
And since we've switched over to Arteta's team, well, all we do is throw goals in, really.
So Man United finished the season very much struggling defensively. So all you're really hearing a lot about is that they're looking to buy defenders. Obviously, it's is it De Ligt from Bayern Munich, which is absolutely.
I can't believe they want to offload him.
I mean, if he's going to go, and it sounds like he's got sense because he says he doesn't want to play for Liverpool, so I quite like him in that respect.
Decent guy,
man. Sounds like he only wants to sign for Man United because he
weird.
probably knows that he's going to get in the team. And if Man United, I know that they want Branthwaite, but that deal looks dead in the water because it looks like
they want too much, Everton do.
They want too much, and Everton sold Lewis Drabbin, like we said about the swap deals that were going on and stuff. It looks like that they've balanced it out, and it looks like because I play on the Xbox with an Everton fan, and he was saying looks like we may get a points deduction again, but if we're keeping Branthwaite, then I'm okay with it. They're expecting another points reduction, which kind of tells me they must know that they're still breaking whatever financial fair play that they are.
FFP or PSR or something, whatever it is.
Which, let's not go into it too much because we know that it's all daft and boring.
Pointless.
They're looking to offload Maguire as well, potentially, United.
Which is a good thing or a bad thing?
Probably a good thing for him, I think.
No, for United.
For United, probably a good thing if they bring in 2 more centre-backs, because they've already got Varane is gone anyway. Johnny Evans surely may be around, but he's not the player he ever was.
No.
So they need to buy at least 3 centre-backs in this window if they're going to even contemplate selling Maguire. But Maguire could do a decent job for any team, probably 8th to 14th in the table, and I think he'd be a great starting centre-back for him.
Would agree.
I'd take him. But we definitely won't be in for him. It's too high wages, and we've already bought 2 centre-backs as it goes already. So,
but then that's the problem with most footballers.
But we are linked with one player from Man United, though, and I forgot about it, but I like the link. Scott McTominay.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
He was one of their best players last season.
He's linked to a lot of clubs leaving, so...
Jesus.
And I've got to say,
Why would you sell one of your best signings?
I would not be sad about that.
No, he's a good player. Well, he's a great player, really. Jesus, why would you... I don't understand.
Che Adams hasn't got a club yet.
Fucking won't get one. Shit.
You know what? And it'll really annoy me if Southampton come out and say Che Adams has signed a new contract with the club. Because that's basically because he can't go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's a bit rough, that is.
I mean, at the moment, it looks like he might go Everton. And I know that guy, again, he didn't seem too happy about it.
I mean, you can't pick and choose when you're not a world beater, can you?
No.
You've got to... And he's not, is he? Let's be honest. I mean, Tin was just laughing at me, but he's not a world beater. He's all right.
He's not even a Euros beater.
Well, yeah, there is that.
So, there was another bit of news that come in, and I don't know if you saw it. So, Reading FC women. I'm getting a bit of a blank faces say no. So, Reading FC women withdraw from the championship due to requirements would need additional funding, which other club is not affordable over a 5-year period, and have now dropped to Tier 5. So basically, there's rules in place that they've got to have adequate funding, and Reading have turned around basically and gone, we can't support the women's team, and they've now dropped down. And they say that it might not be the only club that's going to do that.
But this just backs on to what I've been saying. They need to take their future into their own hands. They've got to stop relying on the men's game. We're always hearing now they want the equal pay, the same money, blah blah blah. Well, stand up for yourself then. Stand on your own two fucking feet and do it yourself.
I think it's going to be harder at that level to get the fans in, though, isn't it? Because Arsenal, United, City, they've got a massive, massive following anyway.
Yeah, but the thing is, women's football is on a boom. It is massively on a boom. I've told you about my own experience.
That's since they won the Euros.
No,
which we probably won't do.
It actually
has
started
been a little
before.
bit before that.
It started before, but the Euros definitely exploded it.
When they won the Euros.
There is this massive interest. Now, even at a small club level, women and girls are getting into watching football on a regular. So local clubs will benefit because not every girl wants to travel from Reading to, I don't know, Tottenham or Arsenal and then spend...
I mean, they definitely want to travel to Arsenal.
Right, anyway, that's the jokes. They're shit. But how much was your tickets for the derby?
Jesus Christ, trying to remember now. I think it was that much. It was 20-something pound.
Yeah, so £27. So you've got to travel into London and then pay £27 for your ticket. If you've got a team on your doorstep for 10 quid, are you going to go?
Women or men?
And what about women's here?
Probably not.
No.
No, but my point is...
Probably not. And this is my point, is they're going to...
If your local team has a women's team...
Stafford Rangers has a women's team, but I wouldn't go and watch them.
But you don't support Stafford Rangers.
Mac have got a women's team, but I wouldn't go and watch them.
Why not?
And they kick ass as well. Like they win 7, 10, 15-0 every week.
Why don't you go and watch them then?
Because Mac to me is the men's team because of my family history, and it's just that's what I've always done. I've always gone and watched the men, and obviously the women's thing is a recent thing. If Daisy
wanted to watch Mac's women's, would you take?
If my kids wanted to go, yeah, I'd take
exactly. So that's my point. So if you're a young girl growing up in Reading and you want to watch football, you don't want to have to travel mass distances to go and watch a game.
Yeah, of course you don't.
So
the game in total, by the way, the North London derby, there was 3 of us that went, me and 2 of my sons. It cost me £200. Well, £220 for the whole day, if you include travel and food and tickets and this, that, and the other.
I mean, that's quite a lot.
It's quite a lot for one game, isn't it?
And you've probably gone there more to see the Emirates and the atmosphere in the stadium.
For me personally, no, because I've been there and I've done it with the guys. So, but my 2 lads have never been to the Emirates, and I don't think they've ever experienced a full stadium experience. Like my one son, who I don't live with, is a Tottenham fan. His mum basically Googled who do Arsenal hate and forced him in that sort of direction. Anyway, so he's a Tottenham fan. So he's been for a stadium tour of Shine Hart Lane, but he's not actually been to a game there. So that was his first experience of going to a game, the stadium being full, and like when they played North London Forever, it was no different when the women were playing to when the guys played. It was loud.
That's
And it
good.
was such a great atmosphere. And I said to him, like, this is what it should be like. This is what football's all about. Is the singing and the getting involved. And
But that's now that again stems into the whole point. The women's game is now suffering because the men's game can't continue to support it. So they need to start standing on their own 2 feet. They need to start taking control of their own destiny.
it is the big thing is getting kids into football, because if like I've got a 5-year-old daughter, and if she is into football, I would take her to watch Stafford Rangers women or Hensford women or whatever. It would be nothing to do with me. But if she's into it, and this is the thing, is like if you've got more parents that like, well, okay, my daughter's into football, so I'm just going to take her to every game going. Like one of our mates, Spen, his daughter's big into football at the minute. She's having trials with Villa and Stoke, Warsaw. She's all over the place having trials. And as soon as he hears about a women's game, they're off and I'll go and watch it. And I think you need more parents like that.
Yeah.
That are going to go, okay, my kids are into it, so I'm doing it. It's like if Zach or Ethan grew up and they're like, oh, I really want to go and watch rugby. Like, it would bore me stupid, but I would go and take them to watch rugby.
Absolutely.
Because it's what they want. And I just think you need more of that. And I think that potentially is why the women's game is suffering. Because you haven't got enough people that are just willing to sacrifice their afternoon and take their kids to the football for the kids. But do we have any information on how many girls are growing up and want to be footballers or want to go and watch football?
Thing is,
because I don't have that information. I don't even know where to get that information.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it and go, if I've got a choice to go to a football game and say, and I do watch to see what the Southampton women are doing, and say if I was given free tickets to go to see the women play, or I've got to pay it and they're playing a biggish game for them, say they were playing Portsmouth or something like that, but if I had to, and then the men were playing at the same time and I had to pay the 30 quid or whatever, and they were playing, say, a cup match at
Bromsgrove,
I'm going to Bromsgrove.
Yeah, but then, but would you if you do? I mean, I know your daughter's really young, but if your daughter was 6, 7 years old and she went, I really want to go and watch the women, would you go, tough, we're going to watch the match? You wouldn't, would you? You'd go and watch the women.
There's a part of me that hope that she wants to become a professional footballer because she's going to be the only one that stands a chance. Most likely. She's only 10 months old, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
she's got the best chance.
You've got a little way to go yet.
Because I was going to say, my eldest daughter supports Liverpool now.
Boo.
I know. My son hates football, my eldest son.
Yeah.
And my youngest son, he's doesn't like football, but he drew a picture the other day of him playing football and stuff, so he's kind of getting into playing, not interested at all at watching, so, but like I say, he's only just turned 5, so there's still a few more years yet for him to become football mad.
Plenty of time. Right, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick break, and we shall see you lovely, lovely people when we come back. Hello, and welcome back from the break. It's episode 37. So, unfortunately, I have got some bad news for everybody listening. We're going to have to talk about the Euros because it's still on. It's still boring. And England is still in it. By some miracle, England are still in it. Even though I'm not sure they've actually played football yet.
I want to interject here. It's not, the Euros isn't boring. The Spain-Germany game was fantastic.
It was, but I'm English. So I care about England. And they've been crap.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
they're shit.
Shocking.
Turkey-Netherlands match was...
That was great.
A great match.
That was actually really enjoyable.
Unfortunately, one of our players was banned for a celebration.
Because
because he made a controversial statement and actually received a ban. Which,
wasn't his a political thing, though?
His was political. Now, what he should have done was gone, I like wrestling. I was doing the too sweet.
Well, I've no
signal.
idea what that is.
Too sweet is basically what they did and just what he did. It's a similar
I haven't
sign.
watched wrestling since I was like 11.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that is.
So he could have got away with it. But Bellingham obviously got investigated and then he wasn't getting done. He was getting just a fine. And then I think that one got given a ban. So then they've given him a suspended ban. So if he gets does it again, then he's going to...
next year he'll get an automatic one.
He'll get an automatic. It just...
Crazy.
One of them, isn't it? It's like the
It is.
whole Bentner with his Paddy Power, and I believe Ronaldo's potentially getting done for his heart monitor that he's just done in a game as well. Advertising.
I'd just let them get on with it. They're going to anyway.
Yeah.
It's like... I mean, to be fair, Lee Evans called it in one of his sketch shows.
I imagine he did a few times.
He called it in one of his sketch shows. He said, I can imagine some point in the future, you're gonna get a footballer fouled on the halfway line. He's gonna go down, going and then the camera will pan in. He'll go insurance. It's like, I can well imagine
Is that where he
being
goes
a
to
thing.
the arse and by Churchill?
I can well imagine that being a thing at some point. Do you know what I mean? Where
Did we get
players
in
like-
trouble for promoting there? We were not intentionally
I
promoting
think-
any products there.
I think because we're so small,
Yeah,
I don't
we're
think
okay.
anyone really cares.
Yeah.
Besides, even if people are listening, they're getting free promotion.
If anything, they should be paying us.
Unfortunately, there
That would
was
be
another
nice.
controversial moment as well. The BBC put a devastating statement on Ronaldo's penalty miss where they put Missiano Penaldo. And
What was wrong with that? I
and
thought that was quite good.
footballers have gone mad as well. They're saying it's huge disrespect and stuff like that.
Wow.
It's like, get a grip. I mean, I'll be honest, him crying, I did smile a bit. But if it was a player from our country and he missed a penalty, I'd like to see tears as well. Because you know that...
So are
They've
we going
missed
to
it
get a
and
load of
meant
hate if
something.
we call this episode Missiano Penaldo?
Maybe.
I might have to do that then just to see.
I think one of the problems is when you're doing that thing, like the punditry and stuff, they're supposed to have that level of professionalism. I think that's where the argument's coming from. But people just don't have a sense of humour these days, do they?
No,
No. Not
nobody
all.
does.
So I don't have a problem with it.
I think it's fine. He missed a pen.
Yeah.
I really don't see the problem.
So, can we just move on so we can get the boring shit out of the way? Because
Spain, Germany, penalty or no penalty? Anthony Taylor said no for a handball
wasn't he like a yard and a half away from
and
him?
blasted it at him.
I don't think it was
For me,
anywhere
it's a
near a
no.
penalty.
It's a no.
Totally unintentional. Didn't go for it.
His arms
and it
also-
looks like as he's coming, it looks like he's
but his
trying
arm's
to
here.
get his arm out of the way. But
Yeah.
as he's pulling his arm in, it's hit his arm on the way through.
Yeah.
It's not a penalty. It's nowhere near a penalty.
Yeah, but
Stop me crying.
have you not
Stop
seen
crying.
the fact that you only see still images with arms
Yeah,
out?
which I find really annoying. I've
Yeah.
watched the video,
Yeah.
and it looks like he's trying to, because his arm comes from here and he's pulling it all the way down. You can see he's trying to get it behind his back. Stop crying.
Looked like the player was offside in the build-up anyway.
No
But
pen for
and
me.
then the other thing that Anthony Taylor's been playing for, giving out 13 yellow cards or something, and he's potentially ruining countries because he might get banned.
I have got some advice for that, to be fair.
Don't get booked.
Stop fucking fouling.
Yeah.
The less you foul, the less likely you are to get a yellow card. It's amazing, that, yeah.
You know what? He should have booked more for Spain players. Every single one of them. Especially if England are potentially going to meet him
To
in
be
the final.
honest,
Get more
The
banned.
England game, is it the right back? Should have walked. 3 times he should have been sent
Yeah,
off.
Shah. Yeah.
3 times he should have been sent off. Oh, he's just been given a final warning, I heard. Then he fouled again, or he's just been given another final warning. It's like being at work.
Yeah.
How many final warnings do you need?
So,
The yellow card is your warning. That's literally the name of the card. The yellow card is your warning.
yeah.
Then if you do it again, you get another yellow, you go off. That's the whole point of it. You don't keep giving them warnings afterwards. Stop your bitching.
So
Stop your fouling. Just get on with it. It's
now
boring.
we'll go on to the England game. So I made notes.
Oh, sorry.
So 15 minutes, I'm watching the game and I'm thinking Rice and Mainu were pretty solid. Was my first note.
I'd
in
like
that.
to give you props for making it a full 15 minutes. To be
I'm
honest.
not going to lie.
You didn't even watch it, did you?
Well, hang on. So I just want to put a bit of context into this. So, knowing how shit England have been this tournament and how boring it has been, I had a friend's birthday and we were all going for a meal. So I had the decision to book on the Saturday the meal. So I booked for 5 o'clock. That place we went is normally rammed. Trying to get a seat is a nightmare. It was beautiful. It was quiet. There was a TV with the football on in the corner, so I could sort of keep an eye on it.
But you didn't bother.
It was great.
Not considering I
I may
think
have
we were
glanced over.
moaning.
So, but yeah, so I was quite happy to like not watch it. Obviously, I still managed to get the last bit and then extra time and then penalties. I watched all of that. But I won't lie, I genuinely don't think I missed anything.
No.
No, you
Because
didn't.
I've got my run through in minutes and stuff, so I put no
Right.
penalty for Kane.
Before you get into that,
Yeah.
I would like to say that I watched the 90 minutes, and then I did overtime last night because this is Sunday, the day after the game. I did overtime last night, and I started at 10 o'clock. And there's no way the way the 90 minutes went. There's no way that was good enough for me to warrant staying up and losing sleep to watch the extra time and penalty. So I completely missed the extra time and I completely missed the penalties. And honestly, before Southgate got in charge of England, I never missed an England game.
Yeah.
Friendlies or not. I watched everything. Because it's England and I love it. But it's just so boring.
Yeah.
So the other thing that like all of a sudden,
We will get into that.
one of my friends choked and took the piss and said, "Oh, they're playing a more attacking team now. Don't you regret the?" No, not at all. Because despite the fact that we're putting out a more attacking team, we'll still pass backwards and sideways. We will not attack.
They did do slightly better on it, but we'll get into your minutes
Yeah.
first, and then we'll see whether you've pointed it out, because I think we disagreed on some actually
So-
partway through.
20 minutes, I put Harry Kane too deep because he
I
started
agree.
dropping deep again. But before that, no penalty to Kane.
No, it wasn't.
No, not all. I kind of was asking for one. The commentators at 30 minutes said that we were better. I wasn't convinced that we were better. It's still...
We were better, but saying England played better is like saying someone's the best cast member of Towie.
At 40 minutes, I wrote nothing to write about, yawn.
All right.
45 minutes, another crap corner. Because basically all the
Crap
corners
corner.
that we had
Have you
were
noticed
just
Foden
going...
took them all off Saka? Saka didn't
Yeah.
take the corners, Foden did.
Yeah.
And they were quite poor. Straight to the goalkeeper, most of them.
Yeah. So half-time came, and then, my word, listening to them on BBC talking about how well England were playing and stuff like that. The only thing they did well is they stopped Switzerland playing football at all.
So what we're saying
And
is...
they did
We
attack
basically
more.
made them boring.
They did attack more. Saka made his defender look like he'd never played football before.
Saka was good.
Like, Saka's been pretty poor for the last 2 games.
Bearing in mind that this 45 minutes, we haven't seen a shot on target from either team yet.
So what we're saying is not only has Southgate made what could potentially be one of the most exciting England teams boring, he managed to make a Switzerland team that were playing really well boring.
Yeah.
What a great manager.
Yeah. So obviously, I wasn't happy with the pundits at
No, you made
halftime.
that pretty clear in the group message.
I wasn't the only person that agreed. I mean, you were kind of like...
I'm like,
okay.
I think they've played better. I agree with the fact that England have played better today than they played before.
It's not hard
that
to play
doesn't say
better
a lot.
when you're already playing shit.
But they were definitely better. couldn't deny it.
Shit.
They
Yeah, hence
went
the
from
Towie
1 out of
comment
10
before.
to about a 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
But that's better.
It is.
So at 50 minutes, we've started the second half and we've had our first shot on target, although a very feeble one straight into Pickford, easy to make.
Yeah.
I think Conser did some good blocking to make it more difficult for him.
He was outstanding, by the way.
He did. But that comes at 55 minutes where Conser stepping in well for Gay.
Yeah.
For me,
Just quickly, what would you do next game?
I think Gay and Conser deserve
That's
a start.
exactly what I would do. I don't think Stones has done a lot wrong, but I'd drop Stones and I'd put Gay and Conser in. Both of them have been immaculate this tournament.
So at 65 minutes, I'm like, no England shot, and we've still not made any substitutions yet.
That was infuriating.
At 68
No
minutes, we make Switzerland have a good attack, and a decent tackle comes in right on the edge of a box. Unfortunately, that player making the tackle was Harry Kane. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing all the way back just in front of the defenders on the edge of the box? It's shocking. And then at 75 minutes, Switzerland score. We still haven't made any substitutions or had a shot at this point on target.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's a joke.
Palmer, Eze and Shaw come on for Conser, Trippier and Mainu.
But again, reactive substitutions, not proactive.
Do you reckon he was taking Bellingham off the pitch or not?
Yes.
But as I stated in the
He did a
group
proper
chat,
Kepa.
Yeah.
if Southgate tried to sub me off, I tend to fuck off as well.
I definitely think Bellingham was meant to come off that pitch.
And I kind of like the fact that he kind of looked at him and went, not a chance.
Fuck all.
I think that just shows a massive disrespect.
Or the only other scenario is Southgate's already planned his substitutes at what minute and who's going off for who, which means that
he does
it
everything
doesn't
down
matter.
to a T, doesn't he?
Which kind of says that he's not even watching the game. He could literally, he's like started Football Manager and then just programmed in his substitutions at whatever minute. I wasn't too happy with the substitutions. I didn't think they were the right ones, but they definitely had the right impact.
Did play well.
Luke, because I did moan about bringing on Luke Shaw, bringing on a defender when we were behind. But you know what?
He's an attacking defender, though, isn't he?
Yeah,
So it's about time.
I thought that we looked better with him on the pitch, being a left-sided defender. So for me,
Imagine how good we would have been with Tyreek Mitchell from the start. Because he may not be as good as Luke Shaw,
But he's a natural left.
but I don't think he's that far behind, and he plays a similar role.
Saka's goal was brilliant. It's
It
what he
was good,
does
to be
week
fair.
in, week out for
It was
Arsenal.
good.
He cuts in, has a shot, decent shot, and straight in.
I think he had a very, very good game, Saka.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say
I've complained
about
him a couple of times.
yeah.
but I am going to say about time because he's coasted through this entire tournament so far.
I would agree.
He's been horrendous.
I would agree. Someone else that's coasting through it, still coasting through it, Harry Kane.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done a lot at all. And he needs to come off and we need to try something else.
Now, we nearly lost it right at the end. Switzerland
we
had a
did.
very good chance to score.
They did.
And then, obviously, extra time happens.
Missed all
We
that.
did have a couple of shots on target, but my comment at 105 minutes was, has extra time started yet? 110 minutes. Thank you to the Swiss player who took out Harry Kane, pushed him over the water bottles and
I heard
into
about that the
Southgate
next
as
day,
well.
Yeah.
He
he tried
he
to do us a double
basically
favour.
gave him cramp and he got took off, which was apparently Kane's choice.
I bet he was aiming for Southgate and he was just trying to do England a favour.
Yeah.
Now, everybody was raving about Jordan Pickford and how good he was in that game, and he was exceptional. Now, in the 118th minute, Shaqiri took a corner. Pickford ain't paying attention, and he hits the post. He tries to
Oh, I
score
saw
from
that,
the corner. I'm sorry, but he was not controlling his box, and wow. And that's
Yeah, he
on
got lucky.
Pickford.
He got lucky.
He got lucky on that one, and he kind of smiled at him and was kind of like, gave him like, yeah, good job. I'm like, I don't want that.
Well,
from him.
that's kind of
No.
why Ramsdale was dropped, apparently, because he likes to mess about and have fun.
Mm.
That, to me, that's not a problem.
Then they had another shot right at the end of extra time as well. A ball came across and it and he skied it over. But Switzerland were definitely the better side in the 120 minutes. Now penalties came, and I sent a message out to everybody and said what penalty takers I'd pick with the players on the pitch. Now the 5 that I picked were the 5 that took them.
Now, I have seen the penalties since I've seen the highlights.
Yeah.
And we took some bloody good penalties.
Palmer, brilliant. Pickford did his shithousery, what he could do for his first penalty with his water bottle. He did what he could to slow him down.
Water bottle?
Yeah.
I've sent it to the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
And it literally tells you who takes what, where, how to react, what to do.
Yeah. So he obviously saved the first penalty of Kanji, which was great. I thought Palmer was first one to Bellingham. It's called war penalty. Just calm, put it in. Then it was Saka wanted it, who went third. I mean, I was nervous for him. That was the only one.
Last time.
That was the only one that I felt proper nervous about, because I thought he needs this, because he's finished as England. He'll never want to be on the pitch.
Yeah, it didn't go well last time, did
it? But great. Good penalty. I wouldn't say it was a great penalty. It looked...
It went in. It was fantastic.
Went in.
It could have been hit better.
Yeah.
It went in.
Yeah, I thought it looked slightly scuffed a bit, didn't it?
A little.
But
a little. But
good finish.
It ended up going in.
So then, fourth, which you say is your best penalty taker. I mean, Tony's penalty taking, I mean, you don't see anything like it, do you? No look. He doesn't even look at the ball. He stares direct at the keeper. I mean, how would you feel as a keeper, the striker just constantly staring at you?
Really, wouldn't it?
Won't bother me. I don't look at the striker.
That'd be quite unnerving. I don't think
that'd be an interesting penalty. Wouldn't it? Tony would be looking at him. And he wouldn't be looking.
I don't look at his face, because
you're looking at the feet.
I'm looking at where he stands before, how he runs up, and then that tells me everything. Because there are tricks as goalkeepers where you can tell by body language where they're going. Now, just because you know where they're going doesn't mean you're going to save it. But you've seen in penalties, I've always done quite well in penalties. And
you have, to be fair. There
is a lot of body language. The better the striker, the better they can mask it. But there is certain aspects of your body you can't change. So if you were to swing a sledgehammer, for example, it doesn't matter what you do. Once you started that pendulum in motion, once it connects, it's going to continue in a particular way. The body is exactly the same. If you've got a wide stance, you're going to be hooking that ball round. So it's sort of like you have to look at how they're running up. So if he was staring at me, I wouldn't give a shit, because I wouldn't be looking at that. He might be a bit pissed off because I might just get my cock out and just
he'd be staring at his body.
Yeah.
I'd be like, have a look at my dick, mate.
And then Trent stepped up and literally just smashed it.
Fair play to him. That was a great penalty.
That was brave.
Very.
I mean, I'm kind of one of the ones that think that, you know, if we're playing wing backs, then he should have played more minutes. Hard to put him in over Saka's performance, though, now.
And that's the thing, isn't it? When somebody that is ahead of you then plays that well.
I would have definitely put... If I was playing that system, I'd have played Saka at left wing back and Trent at right wing back. If I was playing that system, Trippier wouldn't have been in that side.
Yeah, maybe.
But the only changes that I'm making for the next game is I'm putting Shaw in from the start.
You're not taking Kane off.
And I'm taking Kane off, and I would play probably Watkins, because I want somebody that wants to run in behind and literally just stay up front.
Definitely play Watkins.
Because the way that Mainu and Rice played, there's enough protection at the back.
I would also replace Foden with Palmer.
Yeah.
Because I think Palmer has earned the right to start a game. I think he's been brilliant every time he's hit the pitch.
Yeah.
Superb player. I think he's great.
which is pretty much what I've done, although what I expect. And it does.
So-
The only thing that I would change is Stones for Conser, probably now.
Right, so what we've got here is Pickford in goal, a back three of Walker, Concert and Gahey, Saka on the right wing back, Shaw left wing back, Rice and Mainu with Palmer as the AM, and Watkins up front.
Bellingham as well. In the AM as well. Who can go with... And I want him to be a bit higher.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. That's pretty much what I'd have as well, to be fair. We didn't think Southgate had got it in him to change the team, but he has changed the team.
Okay.
We've got some Leeds United
Right of
news.
him.
What's that?
Yeah.
So we talked about Klassen going.
Yes.
They've just this second announced that he has joined Polish team Rakow. I ain't even...
Try it.
And they get absolutely slaughtered on TikTok. Yeah, so it's Rakow Chihuahua. Yeah. Anyway, he's gone there on a permanent deal. So, as we were talking about him earlier, it has happened.
I still don't know what team he's signed for.
Couldn't tell you that. Some Polish team.
Brilliant.
So now that the football's done and we're playing on Wednesday again. Yay.
Is that when the semi-final is Wednesday?
Yeah.
I haven't even looked yet. That's how interested I am in it.
Netherlands.
I knew we'd got the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm more looking forward to the other
right.
semi-final.
While
Yeah.
while we're at it, I want your predictions then.
I don't even want to do a prediction.
It's just for fun. 10.
What?
What's your prediction?
What, for the England game?
England v Netherlands.
Do I say 2-0 or 2-1?
Where are we going up to? End of extra time or
No, 90 minutes.
90 minutes?
2-0 Netherlands.
2-0 90 minutes. Jim.
What? I had 2-0 Netherlands in my head.
2-0. Right, I'm going to go for 1-1. And then extra time.
You just said no extra time.
Yeah, but because I've gone for the 1-1,
Yeah.
that's why the original score was 90 minutes.
Mm.
So I'm going for 1-1, then England 2-1 in extra time.
Going to Spain 1, France 0.
Ooh.
That's going to be a good game, I think.
That's going to be a fantastic game. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Spain 1, France 0. 10.
2-1 Spain.
2-1 Spain. I'm going to go 1-0 France. Just to be different. And I think it's going to be that close that it could be 1-0 Spain. It could be 1-0 France. Mate, it could be 3-0 Spain. It
That's
could
the
be
semi-final I'm
3-all.
looking forward to.
It could be 4-all. I mean, it could be anything, couldn't it, really? Because if both of them teams turn up, that could be 4-all quite easily, and it could turn into an absolute belting game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game.
Though they could turn up, both be nervous, and someone nicks it 1-0 in the 90th minute. It could be the most boring game you've ever seen in your life. So that literally could be anyway. We know the England one's going to be boring because Southgate will make it so. So you're screwed either way with the England game. It's going to be dull. It's going to be hard to get through. It's not going to be an easy watch.
You know what, though? There is one thing I've really enjoyed about the England games of the Euros.
The sleep you've got?
It's the AI Gareth Southgate interviews they've been doing.
To be fair, it's not just the Southgate ones, it's any of the other players as well. And we're still Southgate out. Now that you just mentioned his name.
Yeah.
That's never going to change.
I still think we need to Ivory Coast it. Sack him while we've got chance. We might win.
Yeah, I mean, that's not even an option.
I'm getting more and more concerned that we're going to win it.
And he's going to get a 10-year extension. Mate, he's going to be in charge of England till we're dead. Like we're screwed now. We're never going to watch an exciting England
say
game again.
sack him and let Prince William do it.
Let Prince William manage England. Could be interesting. Yeah, I mean, he is a Villa fan.
And have you seen how much passion he has for the game though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all right with it, isn't he?
I just there you go, mate. Have a bit of fun.
Have a bit of fun. Jesus.
Can't do fucking worse.
It's like everyone saying Southgate's the most successful, Southgate this, Southgate that. He's had the easy run in every competition he's had.
Didn't we do it 2 weeks ago where we pointed out we've never beat a big team under him?
Yeah, and this is where I was going. He's had the easy run on every tournament that he's had.
I think in the last 10 games, he's won 2 matches in his last 10 games or something like that.
That's shocking, isn't it?
Because, I'm sorry, football is 90 minutes. We did not beat Slovakia.
It was 1-1.
It was 1-1. And we did not beat
Denmark. Slovenia. We beat one of them. Did we beat Slovenia, didn't we?
No. We drew with Slovenia.
Oh, Slovenia we drew with, yeah.
We did not win yesterday, as it was penalties.
Yeah.
So we did not beat Switzerland. We lost to Iceland.
Hodgson got sacked for that. So.
To France. And we just lose or draw. We've become draw specialists.
Yeah, but he seems to be getting away with it, which is really... I mean, it's good
His
because
wins
it means
at Bosnia
we're progressing,
and...
but god damn. It's dull, isn't it? There's just nothing exciting to it. I can't wait for the season to start again. Talking about the season starting again, we're not going to be doing a predictions game next season. We have mentioned this before, but I thought I'd mention it again. We are going to be doing a fantasy football league, and the winner will receive a prize. While we're on fantasy football, actually,
I'm still winning.
we've got a league. Do you want to get the league up for me? I haven't put it on. I've just upgraded my phone. I haven't actually put that on the phone yet. So if you can get the league up for me so I can have a nose.
Yeah. So we're going to go into kits very shortly. While we do that, we're going to talk about some good kits, some bad kits, I'm sure, and everything. So at the moment,
Right, Jim has just got it up on his phone. What phone's that?
it's a Samsung.
It's quite nice and I quite like that. So, depressingly, JimJam is top of the league with 307 points. Done quite well, actually. That's all right.
I'm doing all right.
Ryan, we don't know who Ryan is, but Ryan is in second. Who's that melt there? Some absolute tool is in third. It's you, Tinribs. Yeah, it's you. So Tinribs in third. I'm way down.
Darryl had a good week though.
Yeah,
he got the manager of the.
He got manager of the
round.
week. Rover and out got 48 points. That's pretty good. Jesus, I got 23 points. What the hell happened there?
You were in charge.
You're just shit.
There's me criticising Southgate. Jesus Christ. What gives me the right? So at the minute it's JimJam that's in charge. You won't be getting the prize though.
I want a prize.
No, you won't be getting the prize.
Why not?
Because I've made that clear at the start, did I not?
We're not allowed to get a prize.
We're not allowed.
I want a prize.
It's against the rules. It's like working for the lottery. You can't play the lottery.
Does it become a rollover?
You work for the pod. No, it goes to... Well, currently it's going to go to Ryan. So we would need Ryan to get in touch with us.
Yep.
And then we would get him a prize. But yeah, I was going to say you work for the pod, but it's a voluntary thing, isn't it? But
Yeah.
technically you
What
work
a
for it,
prize.
so you don't get the prize.
Knowing winning is enough. It's all about the taking part.
Okay. Good this shit.
It's all about the taking part. Worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Which, by the way, if there's any kids listening, it's not all about the taking part.
It is about winning.
Matters. Winning matters. So, that being said,
Well,
Tin
Tin go into it because
would
it's
like to
his
take
baby.
over at this point.
Yeah, so we had quite a few kit drops this week. Some of them I was quite impressed with. One of them I cannot believe. Not only did they release this shower of shit, but they're charging £80 fucking to wear it. However, the one thing that I do like it, Leeds released a shirt. And it's not a bad shirt. But as I'm going to point out to you guys, I will be sharing these to the group so you can have a look at them. Adidas have done their usual thing of, we have a set formula. This is how the shirts are going to be. So the shirts are all the same. The collar is different. So, for example, 3 I've sent you. Leeds and Arsenal, same collar, but obviously Arsenal have changed the colours of the sleeves. Fulham, same shirt, different collar. My issue here comes mainly because I've been saying for a while that the current generation has no imagination. They've had compute. We grew up with Lego and sticks and had to make our own worlds with our imagination. And we've had great films, great ideas, all this stuff because we've had to create it ourselves. The problem is now, kids have computer games and their imagination is no longer required. Everything's done for you. This Adidas strip, I swear to fucking God, I made about 20 years ago using a kit maker, and I think it was ISS Pro Evolution Football. The 2 little stripes up the side, that was on their editor. This kit is literally something someone made 20 years ago on a computer game, has managed to get to Adidas and gone, I'm just going to do that.
So basically they're using a paint tool and they've
It's
got the
boring.
design and gone, Phil,
It's a
hold on.
Copy
we've
and
got
paste from
Leeds,
2004.
blue.
Yeah, and this is the point.
From
Fulham,
Pro
red.
Evo.
Okay, Arsenal, fill
And
in
this is-
red.
And this is the way a lot of these clubs, kit manufacturers, the big ones, Nike, Adidas, do it these days. They've been doing it for years. But it just shows such a lack of imagination.
Yeah,
But
of
it's
course
just
it
the fact that those 2 hook striped things that come up the side, they were on a computer game in the kit editor years ago.
If you look at Arsenal's kits recently,
Which is that?
right, we went from, I don't mean
Oh.
that bag of shit that's got the blue on it.
Yeah.
When we left Puma and went back to Adidas, whatever you want to refer to it as, instantly we went to a bruised banana type away kit.
Mm.
Then we went to a bruised banana design on the home kit. It's like they've literally milked that design to within an inch of its life. Like, the bruised banana was popular in '93 because you'd never seen a kit like it for a top flight club.
Mm.
And like, it was absolutely my favourite kit of Arsenal's. But you've just destroyed it now because you've done it like 3 or 4 times in the last few years on different designs here, there and everywhere on our kits. It's too much. It's too much. You just stop copying and come up with something new.
The next 2 teams I want to bring up are the Manchester teams. The Manchester United shirt is, again, if you actually look carefully,
Have you sent it through?
I have, is the exact same shirt as all the other Adidas ones. But they've just coloured the little stripe up
Yeah,
in a slightly lighter tone red.
Okay.
And it's
I
just
will
see
be.
where
I
it's
will be.
going.
If you're watching on YouTube, then I will
these
be.
shirts will be put.
Mm.
I will be putting the shirts up
And
as
I
he's
just don't.
talking about them.
It's just so boring. And you got to remember, they're charging £80 for these shirts.
Oh, it's
You could just go out and buy the generic Adidas shirt for 35, 40 quid.
Stick your badge on it.
Buy a row of fucking badge on, and you're laughing. Anyway, the Man City one, I quite like. I want your opinion on it.
I mean, I like it. I like the collar. I mean, the collar's
Yes.
looks like
it's at least something a little bit different, isn't it?
So, it's quite subtle in its design, but I quite like it. But unfortunately for me, it's still not blowing my mind. Now, before I get onto my favourite kit that's come out in the last week, I was talking
If
to
it's
Darryl.
Leeds, I'm just stopping this
No,
and
no,
walking
I've already
out.
said Leeds. One of the teams that will get mentioned today left a brand of kit manufacturer from last season, which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
And they went to Adidas, and their shirt is now boring as shit.
Newcastle.
Newcastle.
Yeah.
It is dull.
Yeah, but it is Newcastle. It screams Newcastle. So
But
at least they haven't pissed about with it like they have
And-
with the Arsenal one.
It's still got that line in it.
I'm glad you spotted it.
Although it was harder to see without the zoom, but you do zoom
Yeah.
in and you can still
Yeah.
see.
So again, it's still the same shirt. But last year, they had Castor. And that shirt was beautiful.
Mm.
And now they've gone to Adidas to a really boring shirt. Now, the person who I was talking to, so these are sort of like the mid tiers. This is the okay kits. They're not setting the world alight for me. Now, Daryl was worried. And someone else I was talking to, oh, that's right, West Brom. They've all gone to Macron.
Macron makes some amazing
Yeah,
I've
Macron
seen
kits,
some
by the way.
So the
Macron kits.
baggies guy was like, I'm worried. We've gone Macron. I was like, why? They make good kits. The kits they made for us were decent. The baggies one, I haven't got the photo, but I will sort that out for you. Is very retro. It's got a collar. It looks really good. It's a nice kit. However, again, even he was like, it's a nice kit, nothing special. Another team that went to Macron is Crystal Palace. And for me, this is quite possibly the best shirt in the Premier League this season.
That's awesome. I
Wow.
might actually buy one of them. That's
It is
lush, that is.
superb.
That's lovely.
That is my second favourite shirt I've seen this season.
That's really nice. Do you know what bugs me?
Is the
Do you know
sponsor
what
too
bugs me
high?
the most? Is what?
Is the sponsor too high on the kit?
No, I think the badge and everything's a bit high, but
I think everything
that's
looks a bit too
nitpicking.
high.
I think that's nitpicking.
But it's a
The actual
beautiful
shit
shirt.
itself is lovely. Right. A couple of years ago, when Rob Smethurst took over Macclesfield, right, they used to be Macron, and I liked their kits. That's when we had the black and grey with Zaki Artist Management sponsoring us. Right, and that kit, I loved that kit. It was great. But then we moved to Adidas. How many times have you recently looked at a Mac shirt and gone, fucking hell, I really like that?
last season.
Yeah.
And this season.
And
Yeah.
Done the same thing this season. Why can't they do that in the Premier League?
I don't know.
They've
This is
designed
what
some
annoys me.
absolute quality Macclesfield kits. They look really nice. I'll get pictures for that as well.
But it's just this thing that these days, everything's the quickest, easiest way to do things. However, do you want to now do what I think is the best kit or the worst kit?
We'll do worse, but
We'll do
I know
worse.
that I'm looking forward to Southampton's kit release
Yeah, Puma are a good manufacturer. innit?
because it's Puma. Obviously, this is the kit from last season.
Boo.
Hummel. It's okay. It's going back to a previous kit. I think from the 80s, I think it was. So I'm okay with it. It's changed a bit. It really should be red and white stripes completely for me.
So you're not a fan of
kits go.
changing it like that then?
Not entirely. I said when I bought this kit, I was kind of like, am I a fan of it? Yeah, I'm on the
I like it.
fence. It's probably one of the worst that I've bought
Yeah.
over
So,
the last few years.
another team that have abandoned Castor. Here's the worst kit I've. This kit is horrendous.
It's very expensive, I've heard, as well.
This is what I'm about to get to. This shirt's in excess of £80. The Wolves shirt.
In excess of 80.
It is horrendous. It is the most dull thing I have seen when it comes to football kit. It is just.
Sudo.
But tell me one thing that is good about that shirt. It's-
I don't even like Wolves, so
It's bland. It's dull.
I can't even wait to add that one on, so I'm just going to show it.
It's just absolutely horrendous.
That's the Wolves one that he's on about currently.
But it's like you got not the sponsor, the manufacturer on one side, but the badge central.
Yeah.
So the whole thing looks lopsided. It's dull. It's bland. It's got nothing good going for it.
Looks like they can only have that kit for 1 year, though, anyway, guaranteed, because it's
yes.
got a betting team on the front. Because this is the last year, I think you can have your betting manufacturers, which is on here. Rumour is that's not necessarily our main shirt sponsor coming into next season.
So, shall we move on to what I think is probably the nicest kit I've actually seen this season in recent release? This one is the Blackburn shirt, and I've put the front and back in because if you look at the back, it's got a reference to their league winning season.
Jesus, people have got long memories, haven't they? Sorry, Daryl. Sorry, Daryl.
The shirt is a 30-year anniversary of them winning the league. It's as close to a replica as you're going to get. I love the roses design in the blue.
I like any shirt that's got a design within the shirt and not sort of on the shirt as such. Do you know what I mean?
I like
when
the
it's
fact
woven in.
that the sponsorship
really
has gone
nice,
red.
actually.
The sponsorship's red, just like it was in '94.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they don't think that kit's going to help them win the Premier League because I've got news for them. But they're not in the right division.
But that shirt is absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it's a lovely
nice
kit, actually.
That's exactly if you're a Blackburn fan, I imagine that's exactly how you'd want your kit to look.
Do you want to hear the best part? £56.
Is it really?
It's 56 quid. That shirt is £56 from the Blackburn store. And yet, showers of shit like that Wolves top are in excess of £80.
Do you know what we're going to do? Actually, right, I'm it's something I've been thinking about.
Okay.
Right, because it's something that's I'll talk to you about the details later. But what I want to do next season is I want the fantasy football to be quite a big league. So what I want to do is on the run up to the division, I'm going to do a specific short for this to explain it properly. But for those that do actually listen to the podcast properly, you'll be first to hear it. What I want to do is I want to make a massive thing that whoever wins the fantasy football for us next year, we will buy them a kit of their choice. A shirt, not a kit. We will buy them a shirt of their choice at the end of the season. So whoever wins the fantasy football, by the time it's finished, their new kit will be out for the next season.
Oh, so they get to buy the next season.
So they will buy, whoever wins the fantasy football this season, we will purchase one kit, home or away, their choice, of their team and have it sent out to them. But it will be UK only because postage abroad is an absolute nightmare. I think buying you a kit is probably enough, I would say. But I'll do a specific short for it, or we will all do a specific short for it as soon as we finish. But I just think that there are certain people, Darryl included, Max being another one, Jay another one, although he won't want a football kit, that have listened to us basically from the start. And I just think that, if one of them win it, it'd be nice to give them something a bit more substantial. But I think
is this the one where if I win it, I still don't get a kit?
Yeah, you still don't.
Yes. It'll go to whoever's next. And if we finish first, second and third, then whoever finishes fourth will get the kit. So he's very greedy, isn't he? I tell you what, there's no pleasing some people. And are you having this or what? Does anyone else want a part of it? No, I'm joking.
To be fair, I'll probably end up losing this Euros one.
I don't think I've ever finished any higher than fifth bottom in a fantasy league. I've never done well at them, ever. So I know I'm nowhere near the top. But I just think it would be a nice touch for us if we were able to buy somebody a shirt of their choice at the end of the season, because it will go into the next season then. So by the time their new season starts next year, they'll already have the new kit.
Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You all right with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So as we're on the kits, there was I was just going through, so I just do it where there's some bad kits, which they say that the website, the fans have come and they've picked some bad kits.
Oh,
so obviously, we've got the Man United grey shirt that was used against Southampton.
The famous invisible kit.
Yeah, I've got to say it's.
This is the one
I
where
rate
they
that.
couldn't see each other on the pitch.
You know what though? The goalkeeper shirt that went with it was absolutely one of the best goalkeeper shirts Man United have ever done.
Find a picture of that, so we can have that as well. This is going to be a right nightmare to edit this episode. You realise that?
Yeah, good.
Oh no, we're making it hard for him.
So, and I wouldn't like that. I mean, the Man City kit, this was horrendous.
Yeah, but that was another one of those cookie cutter ones. Dortmund had it.
That was awful.
Milan had it.
It's a third kit, isn't it? It was awful.
Awful. That's the one he's on about.
Yeah.
Absolutely dreadful. It's the one with a Puma logo in the centre. Man City written bordered top and bottom, and then Etihad Airways underneath.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
was
a plain,
Yeah.
very, very dark blue and very boring.
So then he went 2013 and he went with a Newcastle kit. And I'm sorry, I like it.
No, I like that.
I
got
was
no
just looking
issue
at
with
it thinking, are you going to criticise that? Because I don't think there's anything wrong
No,
with it.
well,
It's
no.
basically quite a bright yellow
Bright
kit.
yellow
It's
kit.
got a red Virgin Money sponsor with black on the right-hand
Yeah.
shoulder with a Puma logo within that black patch on the right-hand shoulder.
So then Liverpool's away kit,
That's gross.
you're going to hate it
You tell,
anyway.
looks pants, that does. Looks horrible.
Yeah, I just didn't like that kit as it goes out.
Looks like it would be worn by skip rats.
Chelsea's pink kind
like
of
that.
number. Yeah, not a fan.
Not fun.
It looks a bit goalie-ish.
You're going to have to send me pictures of all these kits as well.
Yeah, you've got to start pulling your weight. I've been doing it.
That
Yeah.
was one of the worst kits I've ever seen. That I'm gonna
Spurs.
have to just put that one up. It's not because it's Tottenham, because I have to be as unbiased as possible because my son is a Tottenham fan. But that is one of the worst kits I've ever seen in my life. It's the purple one with the yellow middle to the collar, and both of the arms are like dark purple or black or blue or whatever bloody colour they were. They were horrible. Wasn't a big fan of that one either. It's Arsenal Puma one, which is a red body to the shirt, the arms, and the collar was all white, but it got like intermittent red armbands on both of the arms, and it was not a
So
nice
you don't
kit at all.
agree with that? I mean,
I
I
never
don't
bought-
put that.
I never
in
bought that one.
I wouldn't have put that in a bad. So, and then they've gone with Southampton's kit. Now I wear that one on a Friday night quite often. You
Yeah.
know what? I
I-
like that kit.
I don't dislike that one. I don't think it's great, but it's not a bad kit.
I mean,
It's
I
not a
quite
horrible kit.
often wear that kit now.
That's all right.
I
He does
bought that
he does
kit.
wear this a lot on a Friday. But yeah, good one to lose in apparently.
I'm on non-bibs. Yeah. And I mean, it's just Wolves with a bad kit again. It's just...
It looks like an under sevens kit.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it's just not... I mean, that's
Yeah,
Fulham's.
That's
It's
another copy
kind of
and paste
looking a
from
bit like one of
2002,
them
isn't it?
generic kits again. Barcelona's. It's not what you
That is horrendous.
expect. It's very...
I remember that one.
Right, and he's literally just chucked his phone across. Right, that's
the Bath.
the Barcelona kit that I'm showing now to camera, and it's orange and blue, and it being disgusting is about the best thing I can say to describe it. We're on
Love
nigh
that
on
kit.
an hour, by the way, so
That's okay.
we're gonna have to call it in a sec. It's a Real
Love
Madrid
that
away,
kit.
which was pure sort of salmon
Love it.
coloured. Would you call
We
it
love
I'd have
that
that.
kit.
salmon coloured? Just
Well,
gotta
that,
angle
yeah.
it like that to take the
Yeah.
sun off it. The sun.
The
light. There is no sun. That's the Real Madrid one I'm about. It's like a salmon colour.
We'll stop there because we love that kit. Or do we want that one? It's weird.
Nobody wants that one.
It's red and white stripes, but
I think
the
what we're going to do
stripes
is
have been
we're going to
waved.
call it there.
Yep.
We'll call it a day. It's quite a long one. Apologies, Darryl. Going to split your journey up quite a bit. So what we're going to do is we'll call it there, and we shall reconvene next week when England win, England lose, England do whatever they're going to do in the Euros
It's Euros final next week.
next Sunday.
Yeah,
It is indeed.
yeah.
It is indeed. Are we meeting for a watch along, or are we just going to meet afterwards?
I wouldn't meet afterwards.
Well, it's 5 o'clock, isn't it? Kick off.
I doubt it's a 5 o'clock kickoff for the final. If it is.
We're just going to try and find. As usual, we are
So
over
well
prepared. Over prepared, if anything.
Euros finals at 8 o'clock.
It's
So,
8 o'clock.
So we're basically going to do a pod.
Then watch the game.
And
Then
then a
watch
watch
again.
along. If we're
Right.
in the final. We might
Yeah.
do a watch along anyway.
Do you know the beauty of that? I'm off next Friday for 11 days. So we can do that, watch the
You
football, and I don't
lucky
have to
bastard.
worry about being up. And do you know the reason I've got the day? It's nothing to do with the Euros. My daughter's got 3 or 4 different things at school. So instead of booking individual, I've just booked the whole lot off. She's got like a teddy bear's picnic and a teacher's day and a sports day and God knows what else, and we're all invited. And I don't want to be one of them parents whose kid is sat there going, "Where's me mum and dad?" So I'd rather just go to them all. So yeah, I'm off. And
I start nights, so
on the Sunday night or on the Monday night?
well, I start on the Monday, but I just do it like an all-nighter on the Sunday.
Oh, so you're good to stay up anyway
I'm
on the
good,
Sunday
yeah.
night. Oh, happy
So we'll
days.
do a final watch along anyway, then.
So we'll do the pod as normal, and I'll repeat. I'm going to try that again. We'll do the pod as normal, and we will release a normal podcast, but we'll also do a watch along for the final, regardless of who's in it. It's a final of the Euros. We'll watch it, even if it's Netherlands v France, which is what I'm sort of thinking is probably going to be the
Netherlands,
case.
No, Spain.
So, yeah, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for listening. Sorry we've dragged on a little bit today. It's apologies for that.
You're not sorry.
We shall see you lovely, beautiful people next week.